Hi, all my strategic friends. I have finished grading all of the papers. I just wanted to give some overall comments on some things that I saw that everybody did in this first assignment for class. First of all, a few people did what we call self-plagiarism. And it's a big draw to self-plagiarize because you're talking about the same organization you probably talked about in other classes. So why, beat the same horse twice when you could just submit it the same thing you did before? Well, the reason for that is it's self-plagiarism, and I tried to explain, but maybe this video will be a little bit more clear. When you write something and publish it in an academic journal, that document is copyrighted. So even if you copied your lit review from your dissertation, you can't do that because the dissertation is copyrighted once it's published. So you have to learn in academia that even though you're going to be talking about the same literature and the same subject, you have to rewrite these things again and again as you publish and as you go out there in the field. As such, we want you to practice the same practice here. You need to rewrite, even if you've written this before, you need to rewrite it in a different way. And ultimately, an assignment submitted for another class is not going to be the same focus as an assignment submitted for this class. There's different focuses. Even though the material that you use or the references that you use may be the same, you're still going to want to work on it and make it focused towards the assignment that you're turning in. To that end, the other issue that I saw that was really prevalent here is people focused on an issue in their organization and didn't focus on the organization itself. Now keep in mind, the issue is important, but overall for this first assignment, I really wanted you to focus on the patterns, relationships, the drivers in the organization, not on a specific issue. I wanted you to introduce the organization, and you could talk about an issue the organization has in the overview, and that was fine. But when you get down into the second and third part of the paper, what I really wanted to see was a focus on the strategic parts of the organization, the culture of the organization. That's why I had you read Shine, because I really wanted that focus on the organization. So in that way, I think that when you're considering your big next paper, which will be starting to develop a strategic plan more, you're going to want to make sure that you're thinking about those components that are more than issue focused. Not focusing on just the results or the product that your people do, not focusing just on the relationships that your people have, or not focusing just on the mission of the organization, but is the mission actually applicable? Are people doing the mission? Do people even know what the mission is? These are the kind of things that you look at from a cultural standpoint that'll let you make strategic decisions. If you want to implement a strategic plan in your workplace, but your employees all hate each other, you're not going to be very successful in implementing that plan because the employees are not going to be able to communicate or cooperate. The same is true if the employees are just love you and would do whatever you say. They may not be able to implement a plan that requires them to think on their own because they're waiting for you to tell them what to do. So that's part of the strategic thinking process. But overall, I think everyone did a really good job. There are going to be times when I find that the paper needs a lot of work, and if that's the case, I always let students resubmit, so don't be stressed out about your grade. I do always give a window for resubmitting. Please let me know if you have questions, and have a good rest of your week.